Hey guys, what is happening? Welcome back. Another lesson to you. Just kind of felt like showing you guys something, if that's cool with you. Obviously a lot going on this week, and some of you are asking me, and I'm planning on doing an entire week of Van Halen videos coming up very soon. I don't want to quite do it right now. I'm going to wait a little bit before I do it. But yeah, so that'll be coming up in the fairly near future, probably a couple weeks. I want to wait a little bit. But anyways, today I want to show you something that might be kind of like killing your progress a little bit on the guitar. I know that this is something that happened to me. It was a very, eye-opening moment. And I like showing these things because it's just something that really helped me play more melodically, approach scales in a different avenue versus just straight through the scale. It kind of ties into Monday's lesson as well. So we're going to dive on into this one. If you want tabs, all that stuff is linked down below. I think that's it. Yeah, some guitar course stuff coming up. I'll talk to that at the end of the video. We'll worry about that later though. So let's just kind of get into it. Alright guys, so here's what's happening. I'm going to show you 3 different shapes that help me kind of like navigate, sorry, I got hair on me, help me navigate the scales a little bit better. And what happened is it made me kind of start, I've referenced this before in other videos, it made me start viewing more than one note at a time. This is, I think, where people get stuck is they see the scale and you're approaching it one note at a time through the scale. And it makes it very easy to fall into that trap, kind of what I talked about in Monday's video, of playing the scales in order, You're just kind of going through it like that. But basically, there's these 3 shapes I use all the time for either chording or just soloing, just navigating, the whole gamut. And basically, they look like this. Okay, so what happens is I use them all over the place, everywhere. I'm doing it all the time. And I'm going to show you exactly what they are. So the first one, very simple. Sorry, like I said, noisy guitar. Sorry, the pots are all scratchy. It's going like this. Now, this is essentially it starts out as like a sus chord. Again, I'm not really approaching these in the thought process of, oh, what chord am I playing here? Sometimes I do if I'm trying to outline something, but a lot of the time, I'm really just using my ear. I'm navigating tonally through the scale, not so much theoretically through the scale, if that makes sense. So, like Eddie said, it's music theory, not music fact. So, basically what I like to do is this. So the shape is this. I'm going to do my G major scale. If you don't know your G major scale, I'll show that to you here real quick. I'm just going to kind of buzz through it. I'm not going to break it down. 3-5-7, low E and the A. 4-5-7 on the D and G. 5-7-8 on the B and high string. 3-note per string approach to doing my scales. So we have that now. What I like to do is I go like this. Like I said, it's easy to get stuck going like this. You're just thinking of the next note. Well, when you think of groups of notes or shapes, you're thinking of almost like different avenues of the scale. So the first shape is this one. I'm going to go 3 on the low E string, 5 on the A, and then 7 on the D. So basically what's happening here is this is a suspended second chord. Now it alters because we are changing the formula as we go through the scale, but my shape stays the same. And I just move this through the scale. Okay, I move down. Now this would be a C sus2, but it starts getting funky here in just a minute. Okay, so I did 3-5-7. I moved down to the A string, 3, 5 on the D, 7 on the G. Just a real nice sounding chord. It's something I got from, I think Steve I maybe. Something like that, Okay? Now what happens is I adjust and adapt to where I'm going in the scale. Okay? So now what happens is the pattern is still the same. I'm still doing this diagonal 1 note per string idea. Okay? So I'm going to go 5 on the D, 7 on the G, and 8 on the B. Okay? And this one's basically, if you look at it, it's just a power chord, Root, 5th, root. Okay, It's, like I said, nothing fancy, just a power chord. It's just a G power chord. So G sus2, C sus2, like a G5. Okay? Now the next one's funky. Sounds real out there, but I like it. I use it because if you know your scale, you can quickly resolve it, and it gets people's ear because it sounds so out there. See, it was there for a minute, and your ear was almost like, what is that? Oh, okay, I'm cool with it. You know, so that's how I like to do this. Now, I don't know what chord that is. Again, I'm not, if you think that all these chords are just buzzing through my brain as I'm playing this stuff, they're really not, if I'm being honest. I can sit there and figure it out, but in the moment, it's all ear, melody. That's just what's happening, you know? Okay? But it's the same thing. 5 on the G, 7 on the B, 8 on the high string. Okay? So that's my first shape. I do it all the time. You know, when I'm playing through something, I might... And you can apply it to your pentatonic scale, major, minor, harmonic minor, melodic minor, whatever you want. These patterns work everywhere, and they give you a very, just big sound. It's something I'm always talking about, is I like large intervals between my notes. So the next shape here, I'm not sure if I'll break these into sections in the video or if it'll just be like one big thing. But the next pattern I want to do is this one here. Okay, another one. These three that I'm showing you are the main ones that I use. I have other ones, but they're kind of more like diminished things that I'll maybe get into in another video. But I'm gonna go like this. I'm playing 5 on the low E string. Now I'm still viewing this as being G major. I know I'm starting on an A note now. I would use this pattern inside of G major. So, okay, so 5 on the low E string, 3, and then 7 on the D. Okay, just like that. So what happens is again, just like I did the first time, I move the shape around. But I kind of like, I have to make it fit into the scale. So that's where you get all these different intervals and inversions of things and stuff. So, okay, so the next one, where it changes, is right here. I'm going to go 5 on the A, 4 on the D, and then 7 on the G. Okay? Okay, I just keep going with it. The next one here is, I'm reaching all the way up here to 7 on the D, 5 on the G, 8 on the B. You can do that with these 3 fingers if you want to. I do it like this because sometimes you want to add that major third on top. Okay, so. And again, the last one's a little bit of a funky one. Now you can twist this, you know, and get some cool sounds of. Like I said, these shapes are very, very musical. So, right there. And that's just mirroring the last one. It's just 7 on the G, 5 on the B, and then 8 on the high string. Okay? So we have... Okay, this is really how I'm seeing the scales a lot of times, you know? And you can tie it in with your normal, like, straight in line kind of scale. Do something where you're like... You know, adds a little bit more flavor to than just going. Nothing wrong with that, it's just a different way of doing it. Okay, so that's the second shape, and like I said, then what happens is you don't have to just use one shape all the time, you start combining them. So I would maybe use this shape, and then do the second shape. You know, all over the place got a little bit sloppy there, sorry. But, so there's the second shape. And alright, now the third shape is much more of a darker, kind of like minor sounding shape. The second one was kind of minor at times because, you know, kind of got your minor third if you're basing it off of A. But, you know, this one, I like this one a lot because it adds contrast to it all. Like the other one, as you move it, it kind of sounds, to me, more major as I kind of get through it. That's very major. Double root in your third. But this one looks like this. Okay? So what's happening here is it's basically the exact opposite of the first pattern. You know, we're going diagonally the other direction. So I'm starting all the way up here on my third out of G. Okay? So you're going to go 7 on the low E string, 5 on the A, 4 on the D. Okay? Now that one, basically a B minor. Okay? Then we go to essentially an E minor. The chart might have went on tune a little bit. Okay? So 7 on the A this time, 5 on the D, 4 on the G. So we went B minor, A minor. Okay, now here we're getting some really cool notes in here. So let's take a look at this next one here. This one, I really like these. I use them, again, so much. I'm going to play 7 on the D, to 5 on the G, and then we go all the way back to 3. Pretty nice, right? Sounds great. Okay? Oh, sorry. Now all you do is move it down a string. So you go 7 on the G, 5, and then 3 on the high string. Again, those last ones always sound funky. Listen to all 3 of them in a row. Okay? Sound really ugly, but tied with the other ones, they add that rub that you kind of want against stuff. So if I was just to improvise for a second, with all 3 of these shapes, I would just kind of mess around in this little area. So there was that minor one. There's a second pattern. See how I started? I started like this. First pattern. There was the second pattern. Okay? The Lydian chord. There it is. And like I said, you could easily tie this into your pentatonic scale. It doesn't all have to be major. I mean, you could do like, I do the same pattern a lot in my pentatonic right there. Same pattern as this one, but I'm just doing it in my boxes. So there you guys have it. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. Can kind of like I said, when I started realizing that it seems so simple when you think of it, when you step back and think about it. But at the time, I was just like, oh yeah, I think of more than one note at a time. You know, it just made so much sense after I kind of made that connection. So hopefully, maybe if someone else was struggling with this as well, this will shed some light on that for you. And I think I'm going to bounce on out of here. Get the tabs if you want for those shapes. That's all available down below. And the stuff about the guitar courses, like I said in the beginning of the video, they'll actually be on sale again on Sunday. I was supposed to have a new course out, but you know, if anyone's still watching at the end, there's probably no one here. But you know, last month I messed up my back, so I really couldn't do much, and then I got sick, and the course had to be postponed. So it would be my other courses on sale, and then hopefully I might get a new course out this year. I might not. You know, we'll just have to see. So fingers crossed. But other than that, if you're interested in any of my courses, hold off on buying them until this weekend when they will be on sale. So that's it, guys. Have a good rest of your day. And I'll play you some G major rhythm here at the end, and you can try those patterns out. And I'm telling you, they're very musical. Try them out. Let me know how it works.